All right. What's going on, guys? This is Great Lakes Storm Chasing Network and Ohio Storm Network here, breaking in our coverage here of the severe threat today. We do have what looks to be a tornado on the ground near Windham, Ohio, heading towards the Champion and Warren, Ohio areas, all the way in eastern Ohio. And pour some water here so I can get a clear throat. This is an extremely large and dangerous tornado that is occurring in northeast Ohio. I'll get you guys counties here momentarily. This is going to be for Trumbull County as well as Portage County. About to enter Trumbull from Portage County. This north of Windham here. We see the rotation here on the right side of your screen. This is confirmed PDS, particularly dangerous situation here. And that means that the tornado has been confirmed, and it's not just a tornado, it is a large and a very dangerous tornado. So this is a destructive tornado here entering the area here of Champion, Ohio. Also just north of Warren here. The area of interest is going to be off just due west of Champion, Ohio here. Again, this is likely a large tornado that is on the ground. It is actually still on the ground here. We see the debris ball here on the right side of your screen. We call this a correlation coefficient drop. There's one scan. There's two scans. It moves over here. Next scan, it continues off here. So this is a confirmed tornado that is still on the ground. We still see a correlation coefficient drop. I also want to mention with this, further to the north of this, there's also another area of rotation up here by East Clarendon. That's currently not tornado warned, but this could also produce a tornado here as well. So if you guys are out ahead of these lines in the northeast corner of Ohio, Trumbull County, and also what county is this? This is going to be Ashtabula County. You guys need to be on alert, on your highest alert, especially here in Trumbull County. This is a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado approaching Warren, north side of Warren, Ohio here, as well as Cortland, Champion. Those areas in particular are under the gun for this tornado. I'm going to go ahead and pull up another radar here. We can track this down to the road level and also name off some other townships that are in the path of this. So we're going to go ahead and bring this in. We're going to go ahead and do this on velocity. Perfecto. So this is going to be near Southington, Delightful, Stropes, Champion Township. You guys are going to be in line of this. So go ahead and present that screen. I'm sorry, I thought I had that up and running. Here we go. So this is going to be Southington, Delightful, Stropes, Champion, Ohio, or Champion Township, should I say, Champion, Ohio, Cortland, Mecca. You guys are in this particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning. I believe they actually downgraded this now to just a regular tornado warning, although it does appear still to be on the ground according to our latest scan here on radar. We will cover this as long as we have to, although right now it does look to be weakening, which is good news. But again, we're going to stay here as long as it is currently warned for this. Area of interest here is broadening way out here. It was a lot tighter further back here, which was right about here near Windham. And it looks like it's really started to broaden out there, but still some rotation with that near Southington. We have to keep an eye on for sure. Let's go ahead and take a panel look here at our debris ball and make sure we're not still having something on the ground here. There is still a little bit of a correlation coefficient drop, just a little bit of one, not overly concerned. We see it there pretty well on the left or the right side of your screen. We see that it's still hanging out just a bit there, although it looks like it has lifted at this point, which is good news. So we'll just keep an eye on this area of interest here, and also to the north of here in Ashtabula County and also Trumbull County, another area of interest of rotation just north of Middlefield here, heading towards Windsor and Rome. So multiple areas in northeast Ohio here that are under the gun here for this potential severe threat. So the good news is it looks to be broadening out, but the bad news is it is still rotating. So it looks like the debris ball at least, is no longer on the ground that we see, at least. Doesn't mean that it may not be on the ground still. It could still be there on the ground, but we're not seeing that anymore, according to our debris or the radar product here. Further south here, looks like these storms are about to cross into Pittsburgh area. There's a really strong velocity signature here just south of East Liverpool, where winds may be topping 70 or even close to 80 or 90 miles per hour on that wind velocity here, just south of East Liverpool in West Virginia. But still, that's pretty significant. So I did want to mention that as well. That area is heading in towards the Pittsburgh area. But the concern still up here, although this area is looking like it's trying to tighten back up according to the Pittsburgh radar. Do we have T-Pit to go off of with this, or is that too far away? We may be able to use T-Pit. Nope, it's just out of range, unfortunately. Okay, back here to our velocity. So 2 areas of concern. One here, one here. Southington, Champion about to hit Champion here next couple of minutes. And up here by Orwell, North Bloomfield, Middlefield, East Clarendon, New Lyme Station, Roaming Shores. You guys are next on deck for at least some severe damaging winds, but also potential tornado with that storm as well. The severe thunderstorm warning for that county up in Ashtabula County and also Guega County. It does mention the possibility of a tornado with that storm, even though it is not tornado warned. The possibility is still there. How long until hitting Champion? It is going to be on top of Champion here momentarily. Here's Champion Township. I do think I have Champion on this map here. Give me 1 second here. I'll give you a better look. It's basically over Champion right now, just west of town, about to cross over Champion right now. So if you are in Champion or know people in Champion, let them know immediately. Looks like the rotation is a little bit weaker than what we saw a little bit ago, which is good news. But still, this was producing a tornado about 5 minutes ago. It could still be producing a tornado, although it doesn't look like it is right now. We can't foresee that with 100% confidence. It looks like the entire area here of interest has dissipated pretty much. If you go back here, this is where we had that tighter rotation. In fact, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go back 14 frames here so I can show you guys what it looked like before. When we have these greens and reds meet right here, this is where you had the tornado on the ground just to the west of Windham, east of Freedom, south of Garrettsville, where these red and green colors meet. And as we go back here, we can see how that kind of came together where those greens and reds started meeting. Boom, they meet, tornado on the ground, your warning gets issued. But watch how that green goes away there as this storm continues off. You see, it's just more so disorganized at this point, which is great news. So it looks like the tornado is off the ground for right now, according to radar. I'm not saying that's exactly the case here. We do still have some indication here of some strengthening going on, so I have to watch this extremely closely here. No correlation coefficient drop here. Champion's right here, so it's basically over town right now. So at this point in time, I don't think it's on the ground, but it very well could be next couple of scans. Areas in the path of this: Cortland, Mecca, Orangeville. What is this? Kinsman. You guys are in the path of this storm and also in the tornado warning, but don't discount the storm up here further to the north, up here near Middleville. We are seeing some indication as well of a 70-mile-per-hour gust as well in the storm being possible as a tornado, or as well as a possible tornado being included in that text of that warning. Kayla says she's in Champion, so it is right over town. If you live in Champion proper, you are basically right. It's right over you right now. So you'd be in your interior closet or your basement. Get in your safe place immediately, Kayla. Like I said, it doesn't look like it's on the ground right now. It very well could be. It's just radar indicated that it's not currently. I don't see. Okay. I do think it's back on the ground, actually. There you go. It is back on the ground. It is back on the ground just to the north of Champion. We see a correlation coefficient drop lining up very well here. With a little bit of rotation, I believe that is back on the ground. Here is your debris ball, and here's Champion. So you need to be in your safe place now. It is over Champion. This is going to be crossing Highway 45 here towards Wildair, Cortland, Mecca areas. You guys are on deck. Mosquito Lake, you guys are on deck, but this looks like it's back on the ground, basically over Champion. Trying to discern if this is actually a debris ball or if this could be clear air. I think it is a debris ball, from what I can tell. It's hard to tell sometimes. You line this up. Yes, that is on the ground. That is 100% back on the ground. Champion, Ohio is in far eastern Ohio, north of Youngstown. Trumbull County and also Ashtabula County, be on alert. We do have a couple areas of rotation to the north that are currently not warned, but this is back on the ground just to the north of Champion. Basically over Champion at this point. So the debris ball is crossing, Tornado is going to be crossing Highway 44, if not already crossed, up toward Wildair. Yep, pretty quick cycle there. Only a few scans that kind of let up here, and then it's back on the ground. Waiting for the new scan to pop in. I got the 704. Okay, so I'm still behind on this. Latest scan here does indicate that it could still be on the ground, basically not even a half-mile north of Champion. It's the correlation coefficient drop is not as strong as it was a scan ago, but you can still see there is a drop right there. So the debris is likely still being lofted here. Yes, that is still on the ground. Latest scan here, 707 scan is back on the ground here. So this is 100% still on the ground. Again, this is just be due north of Champion, Ohio, in eastern Ohio here, in Trumbull County. So Mecca, Cortland, Mosquito Lake area. You guys need to be in your safe places immediately. Area of rotation now has crossed Highway 45 north of Champion, moving toward Mecca. I'm north of Champion, rain slowing down, no wind. Wayne, how far north are you from Champion? We're talking just about a half mile out of town. That's pretty tight still on velocity and radar here, so. Area of interest here, you can see the correlation coefficient drop. It's a weak one, but it's still debris here. Wildair, you guys are basically underneath this tornado right now. And then also out ahead of this, storm areas that need to be taking shelter are Mecca, West Mecca. Let's go ahead and animate this a little bit better here. Heading right for Mecca. Waiting for a new scan to pop in. Really can't say much else until we get the new scan. But if you guys live in this warning, please take it seriously. This is back on the ground, confirmed by Doppler radar. Although the latest scan just came in for our CC, our debris product. We don't see any debris being flown in the air again, but likely we had another tornado that touched down basically just due north and a little bit west of Champion. So pretty much directly just north of town. So this is a second tornado out of the storm that we look to have gotten, and this storm will likely continue to produce tornadoes as it moves toward the Pennsylvania border. It should reach that pretty soon, but also another area up here to watch is close to Windsor. That area also has some rotation coming in, as well as some strong winds. That'll be heading in toward the Rome area. Let's go ahead and take a radar look here so you guys can see radar. So this area, this storm right here, tries to hook back in on itself like this, which is where you see a little bit of this bulge of wind, and the air tries to come in this way. It kind of creates some spin. So it's not tight up there by Windsor, but it does bear watching, because if it does tighten up, that would be more so concerning. It does have potential to as well. Yeah, this is probably still on the ground, honestly, near Wild Air. 710 scan just came in. Nothing that I see yet on CC. But it was on the ground about 2 minutes ago, about 2 to 4 minutes ago. So if you're in Mecca area, anywhere from Mecca to Cortland, Johnston Township, Kinsman, you guys need to be in your safe place immediately. Latest scan doesn't look like there's anything back on the ground here. It could be. It's kind of been mysterious in how it's been moving and such, but this is so far a strong velocity signature still, so it very well could be on the ground. But for right now, I don't see that happening. Okay, wait, I'll check that out here. Thank you for that report. Again, I'm going to say the rotation does appear to be weakening, or maybe even cycling, but looking at the velocity and the radar here as well, I think this is really trying to either A, gust out, which is weakening, or B, going through a merger cycle here. And by the time it merges back together, it should be close to crossing into Pennsylvania, which is out of our coverage area. So I think this storm might be done for now, but I don't want to say that just yet. We're getting on. You can see on the left side of your screen here. This storm here does have some shape to it at this point in time. And then we continue, it kind of just falls apart, so to speak, as it continues to move. So it's got some structure there, but it doesn't have much anything defined anymore. So it's very well could be weakening here. Tornado warning does remain in effect for Trumbull County. Tornado was a large and extremely dangerous tornado that was confirmed about 20 or so minutes ago. It has since weakened, although it has been producing tornadoes here over the course of the past about 10 to 15 minutes here. So we could have multiple tornadoes up from the storm. So I'll have to find that out tomorrow when they survey. Okay, yeah, Bill, can you explain what we're looking at? So the correlation coefficient product, which is this one right here. Let's go ahead and back this up. For example, here, when we see this little ball here correlate to the velocity on the right side, so on the right side of your screen is your winds. Your really strong winds are right here in these lighter green colors where they meet these brighter yellowish, orange, reddish colors. So when you correlate that over to this product, when it lines up like this, when you have a little bit of a ball of what we call a debris ball or a CC drop, that is anything larger than raindrops or hail, so to speak, in the atmosphere. So we're talking like, it could be cars, it could be 2x4s, it could be anything that gets lofted by a tornado. That's going to show up as a color on this side of your screen. So when we have a drop like this, we call this a CC drop in correlation coefficient. When that drops, this is what we correlate over to radar. we can confirm it that way, if that makes sense. So basically, it's just measuring object size in the atmosphere. In that point, we can get an idea of if it's on the ground or not. But that was earlier, and at this point in time, the rotation is pretty much, I don't see anything at this point. There's just one little area down here, but it's not really anything of concern. You want to see these brighter colors close, like right here. You want to see these brighter colors close to the green colors. So we do have that bright color still here, but it's not meeting any of those greenish gray colors, so to speak. So not too concerned at this point. Also, nothing that we see here on the debris product. I do want to hop over here on my other radar that you guys cannot see. But I do want to take a look at how high the debris was being lofted. We can get an idea of how strong this could have been potentially just by looking at how high the debris is getting lofted with this storm. So we're going to look at that right now and see if I can pick up anything here, which I cannot. Sometimes it takes a minute to load in, so we'll wait a few minutes and check that again. But for right now, it does appear, okay, there it is, about 10,000 feet or so, looks like. Okay, more like 5 or 6 for that scan. Let's try this one. So when we get close to 10,000 or so feet, that would be your stronger type of tornadoes. This one so far, I'm seeing roughly, we'll say about 5,000. I'm not going to say it's not going to be a strong tornado, but at this point in time, it does appear to be at least didn't loft too much of any debris that high, luckily. So just want to check that out real quick, and I did. So with that being said, back into our area of concern here, I still don't see any rotation to be more so concerned about with this storm. It looks like it's completely broadened out, and it's about to cross into Pennsylvania. This area up here by Windsor needs to be watched closely. Heading up toward Rome and New Lyme, roaming shores. Area of rotation there. Looks like just got updated with the warning of a tornado possible. Looks like they updated that. That warning goes for another 30 minutes. Winds up to 70 miles per hour are possible with that storm, as well as a tornado also possible. Warren, Ohio keeps setting their sirens off. Yeah, sometimes, depending on the county, it's not all universal. It'll depend on your county, and sometimes it comes down to your local township. So I'm assuming your sirens are sounding because there is a warning either nearby or in your county. So Warren, you are just to the north of the storm, but you are involved in that county of Trumbull. So Trumbull County may sound their sirens no matter if you're in danger or not. And sometimes those counties will let those sirens continue to go off all throughout that warning. So if you're still hearing sirens, that means you're still under a warning usually. It's not all clear. It's not a, hey, another warning got issued. No, it's just that the warning is continued. So Warren, you are currently out of that area of concern. It's crossing up to your, or has crossed, should I say, to your north up by Cortland and Champion, up by Mecca. So Warren, you are all clear from the tornado threat, although you do have some heavy rain, some lightning coming in momentarily, depending on where you're at in Warren. But right now, you are completely clear of tornadoes. And there's nothing really behind this as well, just some scattered rain showers. So your threat's pretty much done for the night. Cody, there is a tornado on the ground north of Champion as of like 10 minutes ago. That was confirmed by radar. The NWS also confirmed a large tornado just off to your west in Champion. So even though you're safe in your backyard, your neighbors may not be. The proper town of Champion looks to have been missed just to the north. So if you do live in Champion proper, you're fine. That was a close call, though. So tornado warning continues here for Trumbull County. The area of rotation is pretty much gone. Be right around Mecca right now, just passing Mecca. into Johnston Township. So if you guys are in Champion, you're all clear. Although we are getting now reports of damage coming in from this area from that tornado as well. So it looks like we do have some confirmation that it was actually on the ground here near Champion. So this was confirmed from law enforcement, I believe, as well as NWS radars and stuff like that. So this is all lining up pretty well. I'm sure we'll get some damage surveys going on tomorrow from NWS out of Cleveland. So we'll get a rating on that coming, as well as some more information. So otherwise, this area of concern here in the warning box does appear to be weakening to a point where I'm not so concerned about it anymore. Although this area up here does need to be watched closely, although it's not too significant of a threat up here near Windsor. Roaming Shores, New Lyme, Colebrook Township. You guys should be on alert for the storm. There is a warning, a severe warning in effect for 70-mile-per-hour winds, as well as a potential tornado. We're not going to tolerate that, Cody. I'm sorry. You're gone. People's lives have just been affected, and you're making fun of that. We're not going to deal with that here. All right. Dennis says, didn't see much out of Cleveland, really. Yeah, most of it stayed to your south there, but you definitely had a threat today for sure. You guys got lucky up there in Cleveland. So the warning, I'd say, should probably be expired here. The area of rotation pretty much is gone at this point. We saw it, down here where these greens and reds are meeting, and as this continued off to the northeast, it's just turning into a gusty, basically a gusty storm here. It could try and cycle back through, but by the time it gets healthy again, it'll probably be in Pennsylvania, which is outside of our area. So, good news is looks like it's done for the Ohio. But the bad news is we got about maybe 20 or 30 more miles for this northern storm before it crosses over into Pennsylvania, and that storm could very well produce a tornado here as well. I see a question here for Stark County. I don't believe you are in a threat anymore. Let me go ahead and check this really quickly here. Let me look at this. I'm not too familiar with the Ohio area. I'm looking, I don't see Stark. Help me out. Where is Stark County? I don't see. Oh, there it is. Canton. Yes, you are all clear. Just some scattered rain showers for you behind this. Maybe a rumble of thunder there. Severe threat is past you, so you're all clear for severe weather, but there could still be some rain, some storms in your area. Yeah, Dennis, we definitely will. Also, Cleveland up there is on the lake breeze a lot, so you get a lot of storms in the summertime when you have lake breezes. They can fire off storms and stuff like that. So, for you there in Cleveland, storm season is just getting started. Thank you, Huron County. Yeah, I got it though. I was looking out ahead of this line here to see if it was going to be out ahead, which I didn't see, which tells me it's probably not going to be a threat. Which I found it coming back up there to Canton, Akron area. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of a break here. We're going to come down further to the south here and take Pittsburgh's radar. These storms down here further to the south are currently warned for mainly wind. So down here near Marietta, Woodsfield, just got a new alert coming in here somewhere along this line of a new warning. Areas of interest down here by Barnesville area here. Looks like some gusty winds could try to be rotating right in this general direction here near Barnesville. We'll have to watch that area close. Otherwise, though, this line does carry a lot of wind with it that I'm seeing. But no real prominent tornado threat at this point, even though storms up further north in Trumbull County and Ashtabula counties have weakened. So the good news is, obviously, the good news is that it's weakening. Bad news is we still have some more storms that could produce tornadoes further to the south here. These storms up here in Ashtabula and Trumbull County will be clearing out of Ohio here next probably like 15 or 20 minutes or so. So we're not too concerned for that. The warning does remain in effect here, but we're not seeing anything on our velocity or on our debris product here that would indicate anything is down or anything is close to being down. And these scattered storms back here by Canton, I don't see any lightning with them, but it does bear some watching for lightning. That's about it. No severe threat coming out of those storms. Uh, these storms off further to the east are taking the instability with them and also are being forced by the cold front. So anything behind it would just be very, very, very stable. So not expecting much anything behind it. Yeah, this area down here needs to be watched closely here near Quaker City. Oh, we got some rotation there. Nothing that we see on the ground, but we do see a little bit of a what we call a bookend vortex type signature. Where on the left side of your screen here, it kind of tries to curve back in itself. And you can see that here where it tries to curve back in. That's the area of concern for right now. We'll see if that goes warned or continues to strengthen. It is warned currently for severe winds up to 60 miles per hour for Belmont County, Monroe County, and Noble County, as well as Guernsey County. Although this storm has passed Guernsey County, it'd just be more so Noble. Actually, Noble's actually passed this as well. So more so Monroe and Belmont counties in southeast Ohio. All right, the warning up here has been dropped on that prior tornado warning. So good news, Trumbull County is now clear of that tornado warning, and this storm will be crossing into Pennsylvania. So Trumbull County is about to be all clear. That is great news. These are traveling more so eastward now, which is good news as well because they'll be out of the state quicker. Earlier today, we're seeing more of a northeast pattern, and now we're seeing more of a east pattern. So this entire line is warned as well. As just I hopped on here pretty quickly here. I did not get a good feel for what's going on. All the way from Chillicothe. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce it, but from that area, Circleville area, all the way up here towards, we'll go ahead and say East Liverpool. This line is warned for mainly damaging wind gusts and hail up to a quarter size. All along this line, we do see some really good indication here of some good gusty winds. Could be severe in nature. Not really seeing much here except on this storm for some large hail, but overall, tornado risk does exist with these storms. It was probably highest right now. They'll be weakening here as we get into the evening hours. Just some severe storms here, nothing to be more so overly concerned about. This area up here does bear watching there, Barrettsville, or Barnesville, should I say. But for right now, though, everything's staying pretty subtle. Just by subtle, I mean tornado-wise. Rotation-wise, I don't see much of anything to be overly concerned about, like we hopped on here for. So we'll wait about 5 more minutes. If nothing else goes tornado warned, we will hop off here. Otherwise, though, southeast Ohio, you guys are in the um, threat here. But if you're in Columbus or Mansfield or Cleveland, Akron, even just about clearing Youngstown as well, all the way back to Cincinnati, you guys are all clear back here. The only areas of concern, I'll name some counties off for you guys of concern here. Um, in Ohio, at least, we'll have Belmont County, Monroe County, Noble County, Washington County, Morgan County, Athens County, and then maybe Vinton County as well as Hocking County. You guys are the counties that I see the highest threat tonight. Next about hour or so, this threat will be moving out of the state into West Virginia. Currently not really anything to be writing home about in terms of tornadoes, but it does bear some watching as the potential is definitely there tonight. No, Kayla, it is past you. You are all clear there in Kayla or in Champion, Kayla. No problem. All right. So if you live out ahead of this line, still in southeast Ohio, at this point in time, we're going to hop off here. However, the threat continues for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, as well as hail that could reach up to quarter size in diameter. There is a low chance still of a tornado or two being possible with these storms, but at this time, it does not look like any of these storms are imminent. The closest one would probably be up here by Barnesville, but even that's not too terribly tight. So at this point in time, we're going to hop off here again. It's been a long day for us. We were streaming from Michigan for about 6 hours earlier. So we're just all kind of wiped out from today. But we will be covering tomorrow's threat as well. We do have a threat for severe weather tomorrow in Indiana and Illinois. And I think West Ohio as well, getting into that threat as well. We'll have an update for you guys on that tonight as well as tomorrow morning. So another live stream might be happening tomorrow further to our west here in the region. So we'll be back on here if need be, if there's another tornado or anything like that. We'll be all over it. But otherwise, we're going to hop off for the night. So I appreciate you guys watching. And also, if you happen to be watching in the path of these storms, heed all warnings. There have been tornadoes today. There have been numerous scattered damaging wind gusts as well as some large hail reports. So take these storms seriously. They should be on a weakening trend now. But the warnings are in place for a reason because the experts at NWS see something worth warning. So that's all I got to share with you guys for now. Hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow, but if not, we'll be back on tonight to cover anything else that occurs.